Hey all, what's up? My name is Angela, and today I'm asking for your help in finding some new books to read. So my reading taste isn't really defined by genre, more so it's defined by some very specific book tropes that are sometimes hard to pick out of just a book synopsis. So I thought today I would reach out to all of y'all, send out my own little bat signal, and see if y'all have any recommendations for some of these very specific things that I like to read in books. This idea has been floating around BookTube. The first video I saw was Kayla from Books and Lala, who talked about some of the specific things that she likes to read in books. The first book trope I really like is found family or found friend group with an initially unwilling or kind of skeptical main character. This is those kind of situations where the main character finds themselves in kind of an already established friend group or family, and they're a bit of an outsider for a while until they start getting incorporated into the family dynamics and form bonds with other people. Some books that I really liked that had this trope were To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini, A Man Called Uwe by Frederick Bachman, Mistborn, the first one, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, and also a little bit of that in Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills. The next book trope I really like are enemies to lover romances, but they're not really enemies, or only one person thinks they're enemies. So a few that come to mind are The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, Shipped by Angie Hockman, or Get a Life by Chloe Brown. The next book trope I really like is kind of hard to define. I like to think of it as like a very long, drawn-out character study. So a story that goes really in-depth into someone's life, either spanning like several decades of their life, or maybe just going into really great detail over like a significant period of someone's life. Some books that come to mind are 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami, A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, and also My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Otessa Masfe. Maybe I should just pick up memoirs then, because isn't that what that is? So the next book trope I like is kind of in a similar vein to this last one. I really like stories where you have like an older person looking back on their life, and they're not just telling you what happened, but they're also kind of giving like overarching commentary, like kind of like a hindsight is 2020 kind of thing, where they tie together events that might not necessarily be chronological, but they like directly affected each other. Some stories I like that have that trope are The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, A Man Called Uwe by Frederick Bachman, and also The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. The next trope I like are Clue-esque kind of mysteries. So you basically have a group of people either confined physically to one location, or you have like a confined group of people where the main character has to solve a mystery and eliminate people from this group. Some books that come to mind are The Death of Mrs. Westaway and The Woman in Cabin 10, both by Ruth Ware, as well as The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. The next trope I like, an unlikely team that's forced to work together. So I usually prefer like kind of duos, or either like a trio or like a smaller group, and this team doesn't have to be romantic, but like bonus points if it is. Some books that come to mind are Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, Angel Fall by Susan E., Burn for Me by Alona Andrews, and Poison Study by Maria V. Snyder. The last trope I want to talk about is the most niche in my opinion. It's basically dystopians, where a piece of technology dictates your fate or dictates some part of the subjective human experience, and the plot follows the exceptions to those rules. So some kind of examples of books that come to mind are Free to Fall by Lauren Miller and The One by John Mars. So if any of these tropes kind of jump out at you and you think of books that might fit these tropes, please let me know in the comments. I would really love to find more books that kind of are more defined by these more tropes and less genres, because I really read, in my opinion, I think I read like pretty widely across several genres. I don't read a lot specifically in one genre only, and so I would love to find more books that kind of fit these specific things that I like to read in books regardless of the genre that they're in. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please click like it. If you want to see more, click subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.